Yate Osio Halito Istango Bojo from the Indian Nations University. You're watching Haskell News.
This is Haskell News, and I'm Darren Suneagle. With the second semester coming into full swing, it is starting to seem obvious which first-year freshmen have been put on academic probation. Shayna Lombard had learned about Haskell's academic standards for students.
Hi, my name is Shayna Lombard, and today I came to Navari Hall to talk with Lou Hara to explain the policy of how a student gets placed on academic probation. Many students have faced academic suspension this past year. Lou Hara explains the policy of how a student is placed on academic suspension and when they are able to come back.
The current academic policy is in the printed catalogs that are around campus as well as on the Haskell website. The fall 2015 semester, there were 74 students that were suspended. In the letters that were sent via regular postal mail as well as email, there was specific information on how they can appeal with the address included to the Vice President of Academics, who is Dr. Susan Rufflett.
Interested at what's new at the library? Here's Chelsea Jenkins with the update.
With the new semester comes new updates to the Haskell Library, such as a circulation desk and a computer lab. There are also 2 recently hired employees to welcome who are both Haskell alumni.
My name is Carrie Cornelius, and I am Prairie Band Potawatomi. I'm also Kickapoo, and my father was from the Oneida tribe of Wisconsin. I just think libraries are the source of information. We're here to help you find credible information. We're here to help you when you're doing homework, just to know that someone has your back. If you get to a spot that you need some help, if you're doing those citations or paraphrasing, all those things that you hate to do, I might hate to do it too, but I love to help and I'll get you through it.
My name is Danielle Horn-Watson. I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri. I used to be a student worker here in the library. After I graduated May 2014 from School of Business, Haskell has done so much for me, so I just really hope that I can be in the position to give back a little bit or help students the same way I was helped when I was a student.
The lab now has many new computers and upgraded technology to help students with their studies. Come check it out.
The ethnic mix here at the university is vast. There are many African American natives. And here is Terrence Littlejohn speaking to a few Haskell students about the issues they face here on campus.
I spoke with 3 Haskell students that share a unique ethnic background and the issues they face on campus.
I think the first time I got here, which was a fall of 2014, I would sing a bunch of songs I learned at home because I was raised up in the Comanche and the Kiowa way. So the songs that I was singing, people were like, whoa, this dude's singing. Like, are you Comanche, are you Kiowa? And I was singing like Lakota songs, and they asked me if I'm Lakota. And I guess they just assumed that, hey, this guy doesn't really know what he's singing. So I guess that people would look at my skin color and say that, or think that I don't know any traditional songs.
Yeah, for me, I didn't feel any different because I grew up on a reservation in Nebraska, and in Oklahoma I grew up on like an agency. So I've always been around Native Americans. That's just how I personally identified myself. But coming here, I felt no different. I still came across some things where people were surprised that I knew so much about my culture, but it hasn't been too much of a conflict for me.
As for myself, I got here January 2015. And this is my first time ever being around Native Americans, like a lot of them, I guess. We only have a few back home. And so just the culture of like being from Alaska, like you kind of feel like that automatic like disconnect, even being Alaskan Native here. So like to be African American here, it was very interesting. I could feel the difference for sure. But part of it was just like my own ignorance and not knowing anything about like certain tribal laws and things like that, and not being able to like connect with people. But once I found like other Black and Native people, it was like, okay, like I could understand them better and they can understand me better.
I also asked them who they identify with more, The African American side or the Native American side?
As of for me right now, I feel like I've been called out to represent my my Native side. I don't think of one like higher than the other or more representative than the other because for me, I'm a multicultural person and that's what I carry with me. But going to a Native school, learning about these certain issues, it doesn't mean that I forget, you know, like my African history or anything like that. It just means that it's giving me more that I could apply to my, like, what are the correlations between the two of them and how do I carry myself as both, not just one or the other.
For me, I personally identify myself as Native American. I wasn't raised in a Black culture area. You know, I do identify myself as, you know, yeah, I am mixed, I am Black, I am Native, but that's just something that I just wasn't ever around. I was always around Indians. And once I graduated high school, I knew I was going to come to Haskell because I wanted to be around Indians.
I identify as multicultural, both. But when I go back to the Muskogee Creek Nation of Oklahoma, to my tribal town, I'm considered full Muskogee Creek.
These are just a few opinions from some African natives here on campus at Haskell.
Is Haskell a safe environment? And what are Haskell's safety procedures in case gun violence were to break out?
I don't think we're necessarily at a higher risk of a firearm, although we were never involved in the discussion regarding the law and application to the university because it's a federal property. I don't necessarily know how that rule would be applied. So it's too recent to tell, but I don't think we're at any more danger than we ever were for conceal and carry problems or firearm problems on campus. I believe Haskell University is a safe place, yes. We do have a protocol in place that was developed some time back by our safety team, and then we have had an active shooter on campus training. We also are required to take an active shooter on property, for lack of a better terms, training through the DOI Learn website. And so the Haskell Indian Nations University has a security team and emergency response team. We have notification systems in place, particularly the PA systems that were installed in every building and every room that can do audio broadcasts, in addition to the video boards that we have around campus now in 18 locations, and also the E2 Campus Emergency Alert System, which all students are strongly encouraged to sign up for in order to maintain relevant alerts to weather, violence, those types of incidences should they occur. Well, they basically run it through a 3-tier thing. It's the flight or fight method usually breaks out in the natural psyche and hide. And so if you're in a location, to lock the doors and not let anyone in is the first thing to do. Then obviously the second thing that is the fight method. And so, whatever you can get and get your hands on to impede the attacker is the second thing. And then hide is the third thing. But always the first thing to do is dial 911 in order to start the emergency responders. During orientation, the orientation team was sure to hand out information regarding Haskell security and emergency numbers for Haskell, and I encourage all Haskell students to have that information in their phones in order to quickly be able to access it should something occur. But dial 911, hide, fight and flight are the 3 things. So maintaining, should the alert system go on and we go under lockdown, follow the protocol that's in place, which would be, to stay away from all doors, locked doors, stay away from windows and those types of things, and not allow entry to any potential threats until they get quarantined. The director of the safety office is Gary Goombay, and he does have more information, and he routinely puts out information, whether it be on flyers or on the video boards, or he does host brown bags and training specials for those types of things. And so being in contact with the safety office, looking at right now, I think probably most locations with bulletin boards have Haskell security information and telephone numbers on it. And then ask, don't be afraid to ask administration for that information, and we should be able to find those resources to give them to students. But also to sign up for the emergency alert system. E2 Campus is one of the services provided by the university. It doesn't take a whole lot of time to enroll yourself and enroll your cell phone number, and that way you will get those emergency alerts should something happen.
Oh, Frankie Thomas Savage Jr.? Yes, actually I do. Not the procedures necessarily. I would just, personally just do as I'm told and hope to stay alive. I would, like I said, I would follow orders, and I would, personally, I'd wait till, if there were an opportunity, I would take it to try to take down violence, but in no way try to provoke it.
My name is Matthias Flensburg from Anchorage, Alaska. Well, I know that you're supposed to take cover where you are. I learned that from the drill we had last year with Lawrence PD. And Lawrence PD, so we're supposed to take cover and lock down wherever we're at. We should be able to access it on our website, but I haven't seen it on our website. I know that this is a no-gun zone. The campus is a no-gun zone. That's what we're supposed to do, but honestly, if someone's carrying a gun, you've got to fight that. You've got to fight. You must resist. Otherwise, it will simply execute you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
My name is Vivian Pomeroy. I would alert staff or faculty on campus, and then they would follow the procedures and alert everyone of what to do. They can revert to the student handbook or the catalog of the university, or if they have questions, they can go to the university services. I believe it's in Pushmataha.
Haskell has a zero-tolerance policy for firearms and other weapons, while students caught with firearms or any weapons will be suspended for no less than 1 year. This is Haskell News. Darren Sunegal, thank you. Are you looking for something to do around campus? Here's Rusty Anglin on student activities.
Student Activities is beginning this semester off with several events and games to keep the students at Haskell entertained. Keith Moore, who works in Student Activities, explained what students should expect for the semester.
For the semester, we have intramural leagues as usual. We have basketball, volleyball. When it warms up, hopefully we'll do some softball. Other activities, we are looking at maybe bongo ball. We're trying to integrate some new activities this semester, because especially we're getting some different funding here, and we're going to be trying to give some activities, some fresh ideas. I mean, we're willing to accept ideas too from other students, and that's what we want. We want to get the students involved more.
They've already had several events like bingo and dodgeball. But if students have suggestions on what they would like to do, they should go to Student Activities and tell them.
We don't know what everybody else wants to get into, so that's why we want students to come to us and let us know, what does the students want to do? What do you guys want to do? Because, I mean, we can throw out ideas, we can do activities all we want, but I mean, if nobody likes those activities, nobody's going to come. So, I encourage students to come in and just, stop and say hi and ask the same question, what are the activities, and then maybe throw some ideas in there for us to see what do you guys want to do?
This semester they are trying to integrate new activities into their schedule, but still plan on keeping the regular spring activities.
And we do a Kansas City trip, usually like a zoo trip. I mean, there's various activities. It just varies from semester to semester too. It just depends on like what activities do we want to do. Like right now, we're still kind of planning on what we usually do, but right now, like I said, we're trying to integrate some more new stuff. We just got to find out when we're going to do them, different dates. We're getting, like I said, the bongo ball is going to be a different date, and it's going to vary. But I mean, for sure, we're going to get it out. You know, as soon as we know, we're going to plan on it and hopefully get some new stuff coming in and have a lot more students come and join activities.
Clubs are another activity students can participate in on campus.
One, you have a little bit less free time, which means you're able to really create a schedule for yourself on campus. Like, I'm consistently busy, and so this doesn't give me any time to push back or procrastinate any homework, any club stuff. I like structure, and so being involved with more clubs gives you structure.
It allows you to be part of something more outside of yourself and be a part of the school that you're in, and it helps you, I guess, be more sociable and kind of learn more about who you are.
Clubs are not just important to keep you busy in school, but are also important for after you graduate as well.
Build yourself up and build connections. They will follow you in Haskell, out of Haskell, back home, everywhere.
Students, like Shauna Kenton, find other activities to do outside of campus.
I go to basketball games.
There you go.
I go to the KU. I went to the KU women's game, as well as the Oklahoma Thunder game.
Moore wants to remind students that they can always go to student activities and that their suggestions are always welcome.
I just would, like I said, I just encourage, brainstorming, fresh ideas, come in, stop by, say hi if you have any questions, comments, or, if you just want to sit down and talk, come in.
Keep an eye on the Student Activities Facebook page for events in the next upcoming weeks. Reporting for Haskell News, this is Rusty England.
Haskell University invited native rapper Supaman to host the spring convocation. Here's Rachel Whiteside with the interview.
The name Superman is actually, I was heading to a DJ battle one time. Before I was an MC, I was a DJ. And so we're heading to this battle, and I didn't have a DJ name, I was going by DJ Chris, which is cheap. And so we're heading over there, and my friend was like, man, you need a DJ name, you got to come up with something. And we were on our way there, just like an hour drive. And so he was like, man, let's come up with a name, real quick. So he said, use a comic book character, So we started going through comic book characters, the Punisher and, all this. And he's like, man, just use Superman, use Superman, you represent good, you try to be good and positive, and at the same time you want to be the baddest, you want to take out your enemies, Superman, like that.
Is everybody happy?
Incorporating the culture that way? Yeah, no, that actually came by accident too. Like, I've always been into hip-hop culture, but at the same time, my native culture, that comes first, and so that's like normal life. For me to be a powwow dancer, that's just normal life, growing up. How it came to be was mixing the cultures was at the University in Montana, MSU, at Bozeman. They invited us over. They said, hey, can you come and dance, exhibition dance, powwow dance for the kids and stuff on Native American Heritage Day. So we go there, we dance, exhibition powwow dance, and then we're like, okay, we'll be back. We're gonna go change, hip hop, we'll come back and rap. And they're like, no, there's nobody else to go on, right now, you're the only one. You need to go on right now.
I'm giving it right now. I pray for you. I pray that you come back home. Pray that you understand that you're never alone. I pray for the single mothers and the deadbeat dads. Drop the kids off. Go party gets me mad. So I pray for peace, pray for change. Keep on praying when everything stays the same. And I pray for the pastors and all of the churches and those who cry like storms, following hearses. I pray for you. Pray for the sick and the poor. Pray for the rich man who don't give to the Lord. And I pray for wisdom. And I pray for power, and I pray for be ready, and I find a wow, and I pray for those who keep judging ministry, and I pray for my friends and my enemies.
And so we did. We wrapped in our outfits, you know, and I was in my fancy dance outfit. He was in his men's traditional outfit. And the crowd liked it, you know, they're like all jamming to it. And it was like, it became special, you know, it became unique at that moment. That message would be to embrace spirituality, you know, like the foundation of who we are as Native people is our spiritual, you know, our spiritual side, our spirituality, a life of prayer. And I believe when you have that foundation of prayer in your life, like everything else falls in place.
With an update on what is going on with athletics, here's Tyler Jones with more information.
There are many concerns surrounding the state of the athletic programs at Haskell, but AD Todd Davis is up for the challenge.
You know, I knew coming in that the program, as far as the foundation, I've told people, is definitely here. But there's a lot of work to do, and you know, I told the president when I came in, nothing happens overnight. And but you know, I have high expectations, and I'm looking forward to seeing what, you know, comes after this first year.
This is the school's first year as an independent, and many wonder if that's the long-term solution.
We're having to go outside of what some people would do within the conference, like the KCAC, and you know, you've got teams that are relatively close. But the problem that you run into when you're independent is if you're not part of a conference like that, then in January and February there are no opportunities to play those teams, and so that extends your travel, and it definitely is a challenge. You know, I think at some point we're going to have to look at a conference, you know, close by.
Speculation has surfaced of how many sports Haskell will keep, and Davis is aware.
Before I got here, they had talked about possibly going to the 6 sports. You know, right now, I'm not saying that we're comfortable with what we have, because, you know, obviously anytime that you have the numbers that we do, it's a challenge financially.
This summer, the football program was suspended, but Davis has a plan.
You know, in my first couple of months, been able to see what we actually have in front of us, and it's a huge task. You know, obviously, if you're going to play the sport, you don't want to just bring it back just to be bringing it back. You know, I think it's got to be in a situation where it's financially sound, and it also can be competitive.
I'm Tyler Jones for Haskell News.
Thank you for watching Haskell News. I'm Darren Sunnigel.